Five, 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 five. Four, 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 four. Three, 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 three. Two, 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 two. One, one, one. Oh, ha!
Back. We're back.
We're back.
And you know,
we can never be whack. Cipher crew, Cipher crew, Cipher crew. What's going on?
Here you go, it's Tony Bennett singing.
Welcome to a little thing that we call the Cipher 360. I am your host, Marcus the Kidd Warren, and with me is my man Muff. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, and you know what it is? You gotta admit it, dude.
What am I admitting?
You really wish you were like around in the 40s and you was in a Rat Pack, don't you?
Yes,
That's
I
what
do.
Your singing be like.
I mean, what?
I can see you like with a drink. And like a cigar, you up there in front of the mic.
Yeah, because back in the day, man, all you needed back then was talent. You didn't have
not
to
even a cigar, a
stage.
cigarette. That's what it was a cigarette, and they hold it
like this. Yeah, it'd be like this.
Like the same thing.
Yeah, you know,
right there.
You know, have a bow tie untied.
Exactly.
Like have microphone.
Right, exactly. In like in the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. Blue moon. Falling over me.
Yo, check this out, man. I'm excited about the next review because this is a dude I've been on for a minute. You know, we've reviewed some of his stuff before.
Okay.
It's a brother Brooklyn MC.
Brooklyn's in the house.
By the name of Skyzoo. His new album titled A Dream Deferred, which is obviously the same name as the Langston Hughes popular poem. And I was concerned about this album when I knew it was going to be coming out because, you know, his last I'm going to say major record label album. Technically, his last album was The Salvation, although he's put out a few mixtapes, two of them being the Theo versus JJ mixtape, and also the Great Debater mixtape. Both were like quality mixtapes, by the way, but they were just that mixtape. So his last album was The Salvation. Salvation was dope, very dope, incredible. So I'm like, is he going to top not only The Salvation, but is he going to top the JJ versus Theo and also the Great Debater? That was up for debate for me. I'll say, though, he knocked the ball out the park on this one, real talk. The reason why I like this album is because, if you remember in our last show, I talked to you about another category from MCs. Not just flow, not just lyrics, you know, MCing or, you know, whatever. The next category I think an MC should be just on is his beat selection. This is where I think this dude excels, absolutely excels. And every time I've heard him, he matches up the right beat for his flow. And I've always told MCs this, or I always told you this as an MC, that you are responsible for your own beats that you rhyme over. So if you come out, I don't care how dope you are, you rhyme over something whack, I'm going to be like, hey, you know, it still sound whack, even though you sound nice. You know, that's why I got a problem with some of the stuff that say Cannabis has put out. Because Cannabis is a great rapper, obviously, but he raps over some whack beats at times. Horrible beats at times. I don't know why he even does it. At any rate, A Dream Deferred. Top to bottom.
Okay.
Great album, production-wise. You got Ninth Wonder, Jahil Beats, DJ Khalil. You know I'm a big DJ Khalil fan from Self Scientific. Live instrumentation all over the album too. Jill Scott actually sings the hook or sings the hook in the first song. And look, just top to bottom, the beats are there, the MCing is there, he's a great storyteller. This is kind of a concept album if you pay attention to the lyrics. I know you're going to speak to that in a second a bit for what you've heard. But where are you at? I love the album. Where are you at?
Well, actually, first, I actually made a note to actually give him a grade on his beat selection. And that is definitely an A. Okay, I could say A+, but I'm going to go with an A because, look, from top to bottom, like you said, beat selection is incredible. Live instrumentation, it reminded me a little bit of Black Milk, you know, that type of feel to it, because I love Black Milk as a producer. Obviously, I love Ninth Wonder and so on and so forth. But you know what, the beat selection was great, from top to bottom, great album, okay? And, you know, the thing about Skyzoo is one of those MCs who can take, like, a everyday subject, like we were talking about before with, relatability, being able to relate to what the MC is saying. And he talks about everyday stuff, everyday subjects, but he puts it lyrically so eloquently, it just blows this whole project out the park. It's just great.
You know, it's funny because I was looking at the, if you go like to my Facebook page, you'll see I posted a documentary that he did on the making of this album, and he's talking about the fact that as a Brooklyn MC, when he's a young dude, he grew up where he would see Biggie, and he would always want to go rhyme for Biggie when Biggie would be on the block and stuff, because Biggie obviously in the 90s was hot, and he was probably around 10, 11, 12 years old, but he could rhyme even back then. He's like, man, I want to go rhyme for him, but then he gets scared at rhyme for him, whatever, and I can imagine that, because he's probably, you know, starstruck, obviously. But this dude, you could tell he's an absolute MC, he's a lyricist. He's definitely a great writer. You could tell he takes his craft seriously when he puts it down, man. And you know, it's a shame that you don't hear more hip-hop like this on the mainstream, because this is absolutely a quality work, and this is the kind of work that will stand the test of time. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely big on it. Let me talk about some of the tracks on the album. That's bang.
Talk about some of the tracks on the album.
Let's talk about it. I don't want to just gloss over. I want to talk about.
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
Why am I mad? Well, actually, I'm not mad. I feel great about it. I can't wait to listen to it again. That's how dope I think it is. Now, if you go to the first song, I mentioned the. Hang on, guys, as I go to my Dream Deferred. Okay. Dreams in the Basement, Off the Hook. You have the live instrumentation towards the end with the horn, with Jill Scott singing a hook. Jan Sports Strings, which is his kind of, he's making a comparison of his backpack, and he doesn't want to, you know, wind up like Chia Lee, who wound up getting locked up for 12 years back in the day. He doesn't want to wind up like that guy. That's what he's talking about on the album. Pockets Full, Freeway. And it's funny, I'm going to tell you, and I don't know what you thought about this. Pockets Full, the second verse is done by Freeway. Before I recognized who I was listening to, I thought it was like Mystical at first, the way he was playing. Didn't it sound like Mystical?
Actually, I thought it was one of the guys Monix.
Well, somebody with a lot of energy. I'm like, yo.
Who is this? I was looking at this. Who is this? It's, Star?
Absolutely. You know, Range Rover Rhythm, say that 10 times, Off the Hook. The Range Rover Mellow is my favorite track on the album. I thought the beat was slamming and he kills it. The Cost of Sleep is stupid. The Cost of Sleep is incredible. Spike Lee was my hero with your man rhyming. Talib Kweli.
Talib Kweli.
Yeah, he just Talib Kweli. You know, so I mean, look, just get the album if you don't have it. It's definitely enjoyable. I stand by this. You know, you got anything else to say about it real quick? Because I'm ready to rate this thing. Well,
only thing I got to say is that, look, if you don't like it, let us know. Hit us up on our Facebook page. We are the Cipher Crew.
Cipher Crew.
You want to hit us up on our email account? We are kiddmuff44@gmail.com. That's KIDDAUANDMUFF44. I can't spell at gmail.com.
No, you can't either.
We're also on Twitter. You can hit us up at kiddmuff44 on Twitter. That's KIDDANDMUFF44 on Twitter. But that's all I got to say about it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ray.
You know what that reminds me of, dude? Like, you said about the spelling thing. God rest his soul, but Patrice O'Neal, and I posted this a while ago, where like he had trouble spelling. Like he said, if a dude had a gun was about to kill his mom, you know, and he had to spell banana, he said he looked at his mom and Mom, I love you. To stop stalling, man. Okay, B-A-N, how many N's? And then N-A and banana.
I would think like Gwen Stefani song, I'd be like B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
But restaurant, no. Okay. Restaurant. Look, rating this album. Off the Hook, gonna give it 4.5 Cyphies, man. I was on it like that. Thought lyrically it was tight. The beats are tight. Like I said, Knife Wonder, Ill Mind, you know, DJ Khalil, man. So he brought out all the big guys. And let me tell you something too about the production.
Tell me about the production, son.
Well, I've always said throughout, if you're a regular listener of our show, I always tell people, and I'm gonna contradict what I'm gonna say right now. I always tell people that you should stick with one producer, right? Now, okay, we have two examples of what happens when you stick with one producer or when you have a bunch of different producers. Okay, now we reviewed Brother Ali. Yep. Okay, last week, right? Brother Ali. Dreaming, what is it? Morning in America, Dreaming in Color. Okay, that was entirely produced by Jake One, is one of the producers I like. The results to me were pretty good, but I wasn't like blown away, which kind of blows away my theory that you're better off getting one producer, you know what I mean, than having a hodgepodge of producers. Like, really what, Skyzoo has. Skyzoo has a bunch of different producers on his album, but it's very consistent all the way through. You know what I mean? So that blows away my theory. So I'm kind of contradicting myself. It's not about you getting one producer or a bunch of producers, just getting the right producers for what it is you want to see in your album. That's where I'm at with it right now. So I kind of changed where I was with that, and I think Skyzoo kind of brought me to that point, man. So that's why 4.5 Cyphies for me. Where are you?
I also agree with you. 4.5 for me as well. But the one thing that I say, don't be so hard on yourself when it comes to contradicting what you said before, because I mean the key word here is consistency. When you're an MC, you don't want a Dr. Dre beat. really West Coast, and then maybe have like a Ninth Wonder beat, which is obviously East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Something like just, or you don't want a down south beat, then you want an East Coast beat or a West Coast beat. You want to stay very consistent. And I think the beats by selection on this album, it could have been from one producer. You know, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. 4.5 for me, 4.5 for my man. You got anything else?
That's it, man. Check out Skyzoo, Dream Deferred. Y'all know how to get in touch with us. Make sure you keep sending us your beats, send us your likes, your dislikes about what it is that we do. We appreciate all the feedback, and you know, just keep watching either way.
All right. And why? Because the Cipher said so, son.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, and you don't stop. My man Trey, and you don't stop. Johnny Boombats, and you don't stop. My man Muff, and you don't stop. My nigga Woo, and you don't stop. Little Brooklyn, and you don't stop. Grand Jury, and you don't stop. Jay White, and you don't stop. Cipher Music, and you don't stop. Check it, we rise from the grave with the eyes of a slave. We strive to survive, rocking the mic loud, no surprise that we paid. We created a trade that became a craze, or was it vice versa? Gave birth to a verse and baptized it in cursive. If you thirst for the real, then travel no further. We murder the fraudulent motherfuckers and went out to get burgers. We hip-hop carnivores, living by the order.